BIT.TRIP presents Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien is a music game that doesn't bother with instruments. You won't find any plastic guitars, drum sets, or even a turntable. You can't form a band, there's no audience, and you certainly won't be yelling at your buddies for screwing up the guitar solo. And yet, it's one of the best music games ever made.
Commander Video finds himself in a territory unbound by the laws of science. Familiar yet foreign, a place only the innocent can see. The Supernature.
If you played the first BIT.TRIP Runner, or any of the other BIT.TRIP games for that matter, Runner 2 may look a little different than you're expecting. The first game featured pixelated characters with 3D backgrounds, whereas here you've got a fully realized 3D world. What's more, there's fully narrated cutscenes featuring the ever-charming Charles Martinet. You may know him as Mario.
Once again in a fishy predicament, our daring friend cools it off and waits for this cetaceous old saw to sing. Into the Emerald Brine.
Each of the 5 worlds has its own distinct look. You'll spend most of the time staring at the obstacles ahead, trying desperately not to die, but there's some genuinely charming stuff going on in the background. It looks great, but Runner 2 is all about the music. The soundtrack was done by Petrified Productions and occasionally features the brilliant Disaster Piece, the producer behind the Fez and Shoot Many Robot soundtracks, amongst many others. The upbeat and occasionally triumphant techno is the heart and soul of Runner 2. What makes Runner 2 so special is the way that it intertwines music with gameplay. You take control of Commander Video, who runs to the right at a breakneck pace. It's your job to make sure he jumps over, slides under, kicks through, deflects, spins around, and dives through whatever obstacles he runs into. All of this is done to the beat of whatever song is playing, and each obstacle successfully cleared makes a noise that adds to the song. Throughout his jog, he collects both piles of gold and floating plus signs. Again, each collection plays a note and awards you points. You don't have to grab every collectible, but if you do, you're rewarded with a rising crescendo of electronica goodness that climaxes with a transcendent musical moment that is, I'll just stop there. It sounds simple enough, but it gets really complicated. Whereas early levels focus on 1 or 2 obstacles, later ones force you to string together long combinations of moves to complete levels. Dying is no problem though, as you're just tossed back to the beginning of the level or checkpoint and start over again. Those who don't like repetition will be annoyed, however. Something struck me while I was retrying a level in the Supernature for the 15th time. I was learning to play Runner 2 much in the same way that people learn to play an instrument. I was playing the same song over and over again until I completed it perfectly, all while being taught patterns and runs much in the same way that guitarists learn scales and chords. And once I had pulled off a perfect run, it was both incredibly rewarding to know that I had finished a difficult level, and amazing to just listen to myself pull it off. Runner 2 is rewarding not only because it's hard, but it also allows you to play along with its amazing soundtrack. It's all about how much challenge you're willing to take on, and how willing you are to work through its intricacies to play its songs perfectly. It doesn't only feel like you're playing a platformer, it feels like you're playing an instrument, and that's something special. For more on BIT.TRIP presents Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien, check out IGN.